Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, Signal here and welcome back to our video. In this one, I'm going to talk about the ability reveal of Kahndaq Black Adam. Keep in mind that those are going to be level 7 passives and level 80 abilities, so this might not be very reflective of your 3-star, as you're most likely gonna get it, Black Adam, when you get it, or lower star ratings than 7 stars. This is peak performance, and at the same time, any opinion is just speculation until I get the character and get to test it out for myself. So also keep that in mind. But nevertheless, the written abilities at level 7 is all we have, so that's what we're going to go on. So the Courage of Mehen is going to basically make him immune to Power Drain and Power Steal. When the enemy is going to try and Power Drain and Power Steal you, you're going to Power Drain them instead, which is something that's very similar to what the Mega Rod does. It's a Dawn of Apocalypse artifact, which is not really used because it's not worth for that effect alone. But if this is a passive, this is a great passive, though it will Power Drain the enemy, not Power Steal from the enemy when you're affected by this. So it's a bit of a lesser version of the Mega Rods. Also, something to keep in mind is that this will not be encountered too often, because you're not going to get fights that are going to power drain you a lot, because most things in order to power drain you, you need to directly hit you so you don't block. So in that way it encourages bad gameplay, so it's bad. The situations where you're not gonna encourage bad gameplay by activating this is in fights that have hazards on the ground. There are many examples: Phase 3 in League Raids, Boss Johnson Green Lantern in Soul Raids, Boss Emerald Green Lantern in Soul Raids. You know the deals. Hazard on the ground, some deal dot damage to you, some power drain you. He's gonna be very good at those fights because he's not gonna be affected by that, and he's going to hinder the enemy because of it. Also, he's going to steal 40% of the enemy's current power on tagging, which is something that's not that great by itself, but it's something that will have synergy with his kit, so it's good. Though 40% is not the craziest value that you're going to see in terms of power drain, and it's 40%, so it means that if the enemy has, let's say, I don't know what numbers to give to make sure I'm not bad with mathematics, but let's say they have 6 power bars, you're only going to get like 2 point something drained out of them. I don't know, man. Let's move on from the mathematics here, but the lower the enemy's power is, that's my point, the lower you're going to power drain them, because it's current power. Then we have the strength of Anom. So you're going to get a buff that's going to increase your damage on basic attack hits when you tag in. Basic attack hit means that only tap attacks will benefit from this. Swipe attacks will not benefit from this, and jump attacks will not benefit from this, or swipe down attacks will not benefit from this, only the tap attacks. But on the other hand, your tag and dash attacks, dash are going to be the dash right attacks, because dash back is not an attack, are going to deal 3% of the enemy's current health, so percentage health damage, basically up to a maximum of 40% per battle. And you're going to get this buff for 1.5 seconds for each of the opponent's empty power bars. So at absolute best, if the opponent has absolutely no power bars, you're going to get this for 15 seconds. So let's break this down. First of all, what does this percentage health damage mean? It means that it's going to be viable from any star rating. Percentage health damage doesn't care about your star rating or your gears. Well, star rating, hopefully, because how they've implemented percentage health damage with the newer characters like Veteran Laughs or Zatanna is that you're going to get the maximum amount you can do from a lower star rating, but you're going to get less damage per use of that specific thing that needs to trigger it. So you can still, in theory, hit peak performance, but it might take you a bit longer or be more inconvenient. You basically have to work harder for it. That's the basic of this thing. So we'll see if this scales well. I hope this scales well. If the maximum amount you can do per fight also scales with the star rating, that kind of sucks. Also, the damage on basic attack hits is not gonna be great, and it's gonna be just the basic attack hits. Like, you might see 230% damage, and that's reasonable. That's decent. But it's not something that will make him an absolutely insane beast by itself. It's something that contributes towards that, because as we get further into abilities, we're going to see that this man is absolutely insane. But this thing alone will not be worth that much, though it is good. And also in the best case scenario, because I was wondering if you're going to be able to stack those buffs, like for example how All Blades does, you're going to have a buff, right? And those buffs kind of have two ways to go in terms of damage buffs. We're going to have the kind of buff that is for all blades, where you're going to stack a new buff when you tag in again, independent of the buffs that you previously had, and they're going to stack with each other. Or we have the Just Like Dark theme, where those buffs are going to just get refreshed as you tag in. And it doesn't really matter that much, because with that maximum time of activity of those buffs, and it's not gonna be that every single fight, because for 15 seconds we're assuming enemy has 0 power bars, you're not gonna be able to stack too many of them. Like, you're gonna be able to stack at best 2 of them, and for a very short time the 2 will overlap, so it doesn't really matter. Next up, Stamina of Zeus. Black Adam's special attacks can become armor pierce with a hard combo. So yeah, that's not the greatest thing in the world, but then the armor pierce attacks dealt by Black Adam or the flawed justice teammates reduce the enemy's power and defense for a duration. So first of all, my dudes, I do appreciate new characters in this game. I do like it. I do like new contents. I do like you trying more team synergies, because people were asking for that for quite a while. I like how this is going, but finish your goddamn teams. We have the Just Like Dark team missing one member. We have the Dark Metal team missing one member. When are those guys gonna come in? But at the same time, they most likely were kind of pushing it for the movie release, so it's understandable in that regard. But he's going to have a team of himself, and we'll see how these passives and the abilities that we're going to discuss next actually synergize and work with that team specifically. So the armor pierce itself is not going to be the best thing, but the power drain is going to be quite great, because it does synergize with the passive that we mentioned previously, which is going to be dependent. I mean, kind of all of them are going to be dependent on the amount of power bars that are missing. So it's good that we have another way to be able to drain them. Also, oh, this decreases, my bad, this decreases power generation, not power steals. And it's minus 15% up to 5 times. So that's going to be a maximum of 75%. Oh boy, if we're gonna be able to slow by 75% the power generation, then combined with power draining on the tag-ins, then we're going to be able to actually keep the enemy pretty reliable at a very low amount of power bars. Now that's quite good, because it works very well with everything here. I don't know how it will synergize with flawed justice teammates, obviously, because we don't know who that will be. But yeah, this seems pretty good so far. If this thing was the only thing that he had going for him, he would be a good damage dealer. He would easily be in the top 5 because of percentage hull damage. But there's more. So first up, the first special is going to disable random special for 11 seconds. Not the best thing in the world, but it's something. Hey, it's something that happens. It does something, it's not just a blank special. And the next thing, the lightning discharge is going to disable the opponent's block for 16 seconds. Now that's pretty good, because if you disable the opponent's block, you might enable yourself to do an infinite combo, which is great. And talking about infinite combos, the Storm Cloud. Adam casts a Thunderbolt that strikes with multiple lightning bolts, giving the opponent no respite. When Black Adam hits, his teammates are in the Thunderstorm zone, or his teammates are in the Thunder zone, they become unhittable. So it's gonna be a 10-second thunderstorm, and it's going to be a hazard zone. I mean, I can't tell for sure, but it's most likely not gonna be a map-wide hazard, only a zone-specific hazard. But you're already disabling their block with this, and then making yourself unhittable with this. You don't even need at that point to disable the block, because what unhittable means, the closest thing we got to that is the Silver Green Lantern shield. Because when that shield is active, the enemies will hit you and they will damage the shield, but you're going to have the buff of unhittable, and you're going to be able to not get staggered by it. Now, having that buff by default might mean that you also take no damage, though we'll be able to see that, but this enables some very abusive gameplay when you're fighting the AI and you're only fighting the AI in just mobile, so you're going to be able to abuse the crap out of the AI while this is active. So this is very good. This thing here is very good. And the super move, he also does something with the super move. So he's gonna get more damage. He's gonna deal some damage and get more damage, obviously. It's gonna be by kind of the default for all the characters' super moves. It's gonna have something else. It's gonna get 2% damage for basic attack and swipe attacks for every 1 combo meter. That's going to be upon the activation of this. And it's gonna be all the way up to 100%. So you're gonna be able to get yourself a 100% damage buff on your basic attack hits if you manage to do this at 50 combo, because it's gonna be 2% for 1 combo meter. So that's also good. Again, I have no idea how any of this scale with the star rating. I have no idea if this will be trash at low star rating and if those will be trash at low star rating. Those do not take account to star rating. They're gonna be the same for everybody as long as you get him leveled up. So yeah, so far we get some damage on basic attack hits from here. We get some more damage on basic attack hits from here. We get power. We get health power reduction. We get percentage hull damage. We get a lot of things. This man is doing a lot of things. Will he be the best character in Injustice Immortal? Unlikely. Unlikely. I lean to think that Batwoman Drowned will still be will still be better than him as a damage dealer, and Raven will still be more valuable than him in general. And Deathstroke will still be better than him at 0 investment, most likely. But this man, if built, if maxed out, definitely has the potential to be the third or possibly the second best character in the game. And yeah, he actually looks amazing. So we can only wait and see how he scales with the star rating and how bad or good will he be at low star rating, because I know a lot of you guys are interested in that. But yeah, as they release gameplay footage or any other news, I'll keep you updated, so make sure to subscribe for that. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye!